Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Everybody, let's get going. We're recording. I'm going to share my screen. So let's do this. Now, y'all going to be like, everybody can share my screen. You can see my screen, right, CB?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so y'all is like, what does she have on her screen? Indices. That's what I trade. So, but because there was massive movement today on the currency pairs, I'm just going to put my indices on the M5. So I trade them on the M5 and the M1. And this is a different account. So I'm utilizing demo today since I already stuck to my trading plan goal for the week and I already hit my pips for the week live. So I am very disciplined in that fact. And I stress everyone to also do the same. Don't get greedy in these markets. If you have a really great, awesome day like we did with the indices this week, take your money and run, and then come back in demo and just play around if you want to further develop your skill. But also, as we're getting started with this, in the Q&A, if there's any questions that anybody has, drop them in the Q&A. It's very hard for us to catch things in the chat. So just want to make sure I throw that out there, and let's get popping. So I'm on US 30 right now, and there was an AIRO alert. All right, and so I'm just going to go over bounce AIRO go for anybody that's new. All right, it's going to be real quick, so don't be like, oh, we heard this already. Yeah, I know. But for everybody else that's new, we want to make sure we bring them into the fold. Okay, so bounce AIRO go is the very first strategy of AIRO. And what it is, and it's going to be applied on the M15 time frame for currency pairs, Forex pairs, and I utilize it on the M5 time frame for the indices, in any index. So that is the US ones and the UK 100, DAX 30, so on and so forth. And for metals, okay, like gold, silver, platinum, copper, whatever your broker allows you to trade, okay? And what it is that we had an up arrow here. This is an example of US 30 on the M5, okay? It's bounce arrow go because of what? You want to first zoom out to confirm your trend, all right? You're trading the trend of the time frame chart that you're on, okay? So we have more green support levels. That's what the green ones are, versus pink with our resistance. This signifies we're in an uptrend, okay? Since we're in an uptrend, following the rules of strategy 1, you are supposed to look for up arrows. You want to look for down arrows, you are going against the rule of strategy 1. All right, there is a strategy for that. That ain't number 1. Bag strategy is first, follow the trend after you identify it. You're in the money zone. We're currently in the money zone right now. Money zone is from 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow the trend, trade in the money zone, see a bounce from a zone, which is the support zone. You see these, a bounce is when price touches the zone and comes back out. That's your bounce. You see your arrow and you go. Okay, so this trade actually on US 30, on the M5, you're usually going for 50 pips, all right, which is equivalent to a $5 move, and a stop loss of 100 pips, which is a $10 move. And it can happen very fast on US 30. So one of the things is don't jump on US 30 for that kind of thing. You go to S&P 500. It moves a little bit slower, and that 50 pip, 100 pip, you will be less likely to get stopped out. Okay, so that is yes, thank you for that. Sorry, I got lost track. I read a comment. So Just so you guys know, that is bounce arrow go off of any of the indices. All right. And then as you can see on this one, you had your arrow. So you would have got in on what? The very next candle, correct? So what you would do is, here's your entry, and you would count to the zone. Is it 50 pips? This one was not 50 pips. It was only 27. So based on the rule, it didn't even meet the take profit pip goal. You would just bounce out. Don't even take the trade. If you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive and just take whatever you can get to the zone, you could have took that trade and did that, and you would have been out. Okay, so that is bounce arrow go on the index. Okay, and I just wanted to go over that, and we're going to go over something else. And CB, we're good so far?
Good so far.
All right. I'm just going to answer these questions that's in the chat. Is that okay, or did you want to do that?
Yeah, no, you go ahead. I'm looking at it. There's a couple questions just came in.
Okay, cool. I see the first one. They're talking about phone alerts are not coming through, and what can we do to get on? He did notifications. All right. So phone alerts. One thing I noticed is after Googling, I noticed that phone alerts are an MT4 application issue and not necessarily a VPS issue. So if you did reboot your VPS to ensure that the connection from MT4 via the internet connection was working, you might want to submit a ticket to support and ask them about maybe possibly installing or reinstalling your MT4 platform. So try that as well.
The one other comment I'll make to that question is I've noticed at times if you do a test alert from the tools options notifications, sometimes that kind of snaps it back in, so you start getting notifications again.
Right here, you guys. So I just went through it real quick. Good job, CP, for doing that. You go to tools, options, notifications, enable push, and if you do a test, you click on test. It'll tell you that a notification. You got to look at your journal for more information. So I'm gonna hit OK, and I'm gonna just cancel out. And what the journal is down here on your terminal. You're gonna click here. Okay, and I saw other questions, and I'll get to it. Your journal's right here. And so in your journal, if it had any message, it tells you right here, notification it was sent to whatever my MQID is. And that's how you can see that at least in MT4, it is generating the message and then having it get to the MT4, say on your phone. If that is where the hiccup is, it possibly is either the VPS connection is not working, which is why they suggest to reboot, or it's a possibility that sometimes the MT4 platform just needs to be uninstalled and reinstalled again. And that happens quite often outside of even dealing with AP. That happens even when regular people got MT4s downloaded from their brokers. So that would just be my thought on that. So hopefully that helped. Next question. Oh, I see. Let's see. Froze. Yeah, VPS has got the, okay. Yeah, so anything with the VPS itself, like freezing and stuff like that, again, all I can do is tell you to go to support and see if they can help you guys out with that. Sorry, I got a little stutter because I was reading additional questions. All right, so sorry about that, but yes, definitely. And eventually the VPS issues will get resolved, especially if it's freezing or something like that. That could be a RAM issue, and that could also be with maybe too many charts are open, or you got the market watch open, the navigator, got things open that may not necessarily need to be, that's sucking up all the RAM resources on the VPS. So close those things. If you can say that you closed all that stuff and you still have issues, then it could also possibly be that maybe the update of AIRO that's going to come out will help resolve that issue as well. The VPS freezing is more like a memory issue, it sounds like to me. I haven't had a VPS freeze on me, so that's why I have not experienced that. And then, oh, cool, my RSI. And then somebody asked about the Aussie 200 index buy signal. Wow, somebody's trading that index? Hey, Sean, let me know what time frame you're on, and we could take a look at it. And then how did I set my RSI? Oh, that's funny. I'll answer that one too. As long as Sean tell me what time frame he is on the Aussie 200 index, we could take a look at that. My RSI, now for people that know me, I actually used to hate trading the RSI because I never could be successful with trading it. However, we all know Coach Mo's peekaboo strategy has assisted with teaching us how to utilize the RSI, just doing that little peekaboo down to the M1. So I kind of took that, and with some other information that I learned, I kind of evolved it into my own little thing. But my RSI levels are, and I will show everybody, since it's an indicator, you go to indicator list, you right click, and this session is being recorded. You highlight RSI, edit. Here are my levels: 40, 60, 25, 75. The reason why I have these 4 levels is because I utilize it for scalping. All right, so I utilize AIRO with scalping off the M1. Yep, that's what I've been doing. And for those of you guys who have been in the AIRO bag chat, excuse me, and you saw me post my profits or my trades from the 250 account to the $2,500 account or 2,000 something, it was because I was scalping and utilizing industry trading swings. And I'm utilizing this right here, the RSI, the way I've converted it. And I use my own strategy. So that was that one. And got that answered. And where's the Aussie 5-minute? Got you. Thank you. So we're going to take a look at Aussie 200 index. And let's see if we can find a trade on it. And then I'll look at other EU pairs as well. And there's my 200. That's interesting. I have not seen that in a long time. So that's interesting that somebody came out the gate with that one. So I'm just loading my AIRO template on there, since I tend to keep only the pairs that I trade only in my market watch. You know, I get rid of everything else. So I do that. So we got that buy on the M5. Okay, zoom out. We in an uptrend. Oh, shoot. Yeah, let's go. Let me look at that M1 peekaboo real quick. Oh, see, no, can't go yet. Good thing I peekabooed. You see that? I don't know why that looks like that, but anyway, we're sitting at a resistance right here. So if you do take the trade, let's walk through this. I'm on the M5. Ooh, and that's a second arrow in a row too. I don't like second arrows. I like first arrows. And it's because second arrows typically have like a 50-50 percentage of going. So I'm very hesitant on second arrows. But you notice I was like, oh, okay, let's go. It's good. Because it technically is a bounce from this original support first arrow, and you are taught that you could take a second consecutive arrow. However, notice before I even jumped into that, I M1 that and utilized Mo's peekaboo, and I see this resistance zone here. Couple of things I see: resistance zone, stop, and it also could be making a new high of the day. So let's wait until the stock market opens, and then let's see if we might be able to jump in at that time. Stock market opens in about 5 minutes, so let's just wait on that, and then we'll be able to see if we can jump in. So hold off on that. I'll keep that chart open. Okay, what other pairs are we talking here? Okay, thank you, Gilad, for talking about the MT4 closing. Appreciate that. Let's see. Charles asking me, can I put a wedge on that? Probably could, but you know what? I'm not good at wedges, Charles. I'm not. CB, you good at wedges?
I wouldn't dare.
I'm not good at wedges.
We need Matt. We need Matt back for the wedge maker.
Yeah, absolutely. We need Matt for the wedge. You know, but we might do that, or even Mo. I know Mo is good at wedges too, but not I. And you see that? Look at that. See why that peekaboo helps? See how it just turned right back around? Now we have the support, and it might just keep ranging until it decides to break out. But how would I draw a fib on the M5 on Aussie 2000? You know what? Again, here's the thing. I like to stay in my lane. I'm not good at drawing fibs on any time frame less than H1, only because I'm not good at catching trends. But if we could quickly do it, because then I saw somebody asked about gold. Here's your fib retracement tool, and I think Al says he uses the expansion, but since the retracement tool has a button right here, it's a little easier to just grab it. So you would click right here, and I would just look for the uptrend since we're on an uptrend. So here's one trend, retracement up, right? So I would just do, I like this one because it had the most movement. So I would just start from the lowest point below the arrow trend line. And remember, the arrow trend line is the key here because that's part of strategy 8. Catch the wick and drag and go to the top. That's all you would do on a M5. You could draw this on any time frame. And then you just look at how far back it retraced. So right here, it retraced down to the 50, okay? And then it went back up again. Remember, price always has to go to 0 before it can continue its trend, right? So here it goes. It retraced back to the 50. Then look at this engulfing candle. Now, Nate does a beautiful thing when he teaches y'all AIRO in this trading system. Not only does he teach you the regular bounce arrow go, strategy 1, but there's other strategies. In his strategy 8 video, which, shout out to Nate because me and him worked on that together, so I appreciate him. He teaches you not candlestick formations as possible entries that you can get in before the arrow alert. Okay, this engulfing candle right here is an entry. I'm in right there at the next candle on a buy, right? And then you're in prior to the arrow alert if you're standing there looking at the chart. Otherwise, you could just draw your fib and wait for the arrow alert. Make life easier. That's the whole point of us utilizing AIRO and the power of it. Wait for your arrow alert. It's still a bounce arrow go, right? But now that you drew your fib, you can maybe go for 50 pips if Aussie 200 moves like that, because I think it's a little slower than the US indices. But you can just know when you get in on a bounce arrow go, and I'll measure it for you. This is your entry right here. You go to 0. That's 102 pips. That's not bad. And this is off of the 5-minute chart. If you were awake for that, I'm asleep at this time. But then it replicates itself again right here. Bounce, arrow, go. So that would be how you would draw the fib on Aussie 200. All right. So let's see here. Let me go on there. How about gold? I'll look at gold. Nobody want to talk about currency pairs? Good. I don't like anything.
We had some nice trades in gold with Nate during the London session. Gold is at a real low point right now. I don't know that I wouldn't mess with it anymore, but
I would not either. Then if it's already had like a really strong move,
real strong.
Okay, let me pick gold no, that's silver. Sorry, gold to the US dollar. I do not have cryptocurrency with this broker, so if y'all wanted to talk about crypto, that would have to be somebody else to talk about it because I don't have it with this particular broker. Not on MT4 anyway. On MT5 we do. Okay. Woo, look at that. I can see why. So I take it you guys were in sales.
Yep. We shorted that first downward arrow there in Nate's session.
Beautiful bag entry. I can see that right now. Yep. And it destroyed whatever support zones were there.
Yeah. there was one earlier. So.
Oh wow. And now look at that. Y'all see that resistance just popped up? Yeah. That's interesting. So if you're trading gold off the M5, only sells. So don't be looking for no buys here. Even if you wanted to try and get a buy to say, hey, I just want to ride the uptrend back, don't do that to yourself, especially if you're not good at counter trend trading. And I would just say this, there's nothing wrong with counter trend trading. It's just that you should develop the skill to do it, because I was taught to always follow the money. Follow the banks, follow the moves, follow the money, follow the trend, follow the momentum, okay? If you go against the momentum, you are not sure how long that would occur, where you could end up stopping yourself out or having major losses. So if you want to counter trend, that's fine. There's actually a strategy for that. With AIRO. That's strategy number 6 if you want to go over that video. However, there's a certain time to do that as well. So if it doesn't follow the rules of AIRO in that respect for a counter trend, then and you go outside of that, I would just caution you to practice that and ensure you have a very high winning accuracy in doing so. So that way you could build your confidence in it. Good Lord, gold is just continuing to melt. I would not jump into anything on gold, but then again, me and gold aren't speaking at this time. I tell everybody that, we're not on good terms. Um, me and gold, I cannot read gold as well as I used to. This time last year, gold and me, we were fine. Whatever transpired after the pandemic, gold decided to go on its own way, and we just decided to part ways, and me and indices became friends. So that's how I see gold.
Hey, Jackie,
Yeah.
we had a bag entry alert for the British pound Canadian dollar. It's a
Okay.
second upward arrow. It's a potential entry, but like you said, it is a second arrow.
Oh, it's I could definitely take it. Look, you said pound CAD or pound AUD?
Pound CAD.
Gotcha. Drag and drop. Let me put it on there. And let's take a look at it. Yes. Okay, here's mine. So my screen might be different from others. That's the M5. Let me go to M15. And I've been having this where I have to load my arrows sometimes if I flip to too many different charts. Oh yeah, that's a second. Yeah, look at that strong move, you guys. I would be very suspicious of
Right.
any second arrow after such a strong move like that. You know, um, just logically speaking. And then of course I have my RSI on. It's already coming back down. See, you already got some pullback. I, mm. I
Yeah.
would be very, very cautious of this. Plus, let's zoom out. We got three ups, we got three supports, and we got two resistance, right? But this support is a very weak support, honestly. If you look at it, it just was formed today off of this strong move. So, a couple of things though that I see. Look at this awesome move that GCAD has been doing for days, right? And then look at this strong retracement, and then you have this, I guess you can call it ranging or consolidation that was going on, and then boom, took off and retraced again. This will fake out, honestly, right here, all that ranging. And what I mean by fake out is when you have a nice strong move like this, right? And then what's today? We're on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Friday. Okay, Friday starts its melt, and then it looks like it wants to stop retracing and then go back up again. That's a fake out. It doesn't know what it wants to do. And then it actually did its complete retracement. If I draw my fib on this, and the reason why I'm talking like this is I like to draw my fib off of support levels. And we're on the M15. So this is, again, strategy number 8, right? But what I'm saying is when you look at a move like this, you look at how far back it's come. It came back to the 50. And then it decided to go in, and then it kind of stuttered and stopped. So it's going to take a while for it to figure out what it wants to do. And then what had happened? It dropped immediately past the 61.8, which is one of my favorite levels on the fib. All right. And then it decided to make its move. So based off of the AIRO alert alone, the second entry is still valid. Oh, I got to wait a minute now. Hold on. We got to jump in the NAS for a second, y'all. Let me make sure.
Yeah, I saw that melt.
Okay. We're still on an uptrend on NAS, so this is a retracement occurring. And the market's been open for about 5 minutes. And that's a down arrow straight into that zone. And look what it did. It immediately turned around and came back up again. However, I'm not jumping into this right now, only because of where my RSI is sitting. But if this thing decides to come back up and close up here, that's a railroad track formation, meaning, and it's a bearish one. So I would be looking to maybe do another sell, but that's a counter trend because it's happening, but it went right into that zone. I don't like it for that instance, but that's a key. So somebody keep a lookout for me on that while I go back to GCAD. So on that GCAD, it could be considered a good entry in the sense of it's consecutive, you're going with the trend, and it has not reached zero yet on your fib. You possibly could take it. There's let me see, to the zone from your entry. Let me count that. Ooh, look at that retracement though. If you would have got in, you're sitting in some drawdown right now. But to the zone, that's 43 pips. I am so wary of second arrows.
And you know what, Jackie, if you go to the M5, you'll see the peekaboo shows a slightly tighter zone. It's still more than 20
There it is.
pips. Yeah.
Yep, I see it. It's still 20 pips if they decide to go in there. You know what would be nice? Have it bounce off of the arrow trend line. That it's coming to, and then possibly jump back in again. That's what I would look at. So the second arrow, and you have two arrows here on the M5. The second arrow off of the M15 is still valid. You still have space to the next zone on it. However, when you come down to the peekaboo, you see why you have drawdown if you would have got in, right? So the whole point of the peekaboo strategy is to ensure yourself with some sniper entry to avoid that drawdown. So like I said, I would just kind of wait and see if it kind of bounced off of this arrow trend line and then go back in there. And then that way, at least you get in, and then you'll have maybe more of a push if you zoom out on the M5. You got some resistance for sure, but you at least be able to get in and maybe be able to catch maybe 20 pips. Yeah. So I would just wait for that bounce off the trend line and then jump in there. You can at least catch 20 pips that way without having to avoid from the M15. But the M15 alert just gives you a signal like, hey, there's a trade opportunity, but maybe it's not off of the M15. You go down to a lower one. Still a bag entry, still utilizing AIRO, just utilizing different methods and strategies to make your trading not only safer and less risky, but to make sure you're getting into those sniper entries. That sound good to everybody? Crickets.
It sounds great.
Oh,
Sounds great.
nice to see you, man. I'm only gonna be on here for another 10 minutes and then I'm gonna be out. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at these Q&As real quick.
I got to step away for 1 second.
Cool beans, CB. Did I use 50-100? I just watched Nate and he mentioned 20-40. Could I explain? Oh, the 50-100, 50 take profit, 100 pips stop loss. That is for indices only. That's not for Forex pairs. All of Nate's videos and teachings are in regards to Forex pairs. The only reason why I got a little bit of an in on that is because I was a part of Nate's beta test group when AIRO was first being demonstrated. By the way, the AIRO that y'all see is way better than what we got a couple of months ago. So not that it's not like it didn't work any differently. It's still an awesome thing, but it just looks prettier too, for sure. But in that session, that's when Nate was the one who turned me on to trading indices, which started off with S&P 500. And for those that don't know what that is, that's the Standard and Poor Small Business 500. So what that is, he told me on the M5, he traded it, and he suggested 50 take profit, 100 pip stop loss, and only on S&P. Any of the other indices, I kind of created my own based on me constantly trading them, because I'm going to steal Matt's terminology, volume of trades. I only was able to come up with my own take profit and stop loss based on constantly trading those pairs in demo, in live, on the same time frame to develop the pattern on how they move. So I confirmed that Nate was good with the 50 pip take profit, 100 pip stop loss. Very rarely have I ever gotten stop loss on S&P, by the way, off of the M5. So hopefully that answers that question. Man, I'm gonna steal your lines if I can.
No, they go right ahead. It's actually not my lines. It's one of my mentor's lines. He instilled it in us. He said, like, get a volume in. You put 100 demo trades in, and then come tell me the system doesn't work.
Right.
You have no right to tell me the system doesn't work if you don't take 100 trades.
Right. Okay.
Oh, see, that's real talk, guys.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not pulling any hits tonight.
Let's see. Somebody asked, can I explain the RSI and how I trade it? Give me a minute. If I get a chance, it's very similar to Coach Mo. I'm a little unorthodox though. but I utilize RSI with AIRO, and it does matter with the support zones that AIRO draws. Because I don't know if everybody knows, but you can get an indicator and it can draw support and resistance zones, but not all indicators draw them the same. And I have found that AIRO's zones, the way they are generated, have been very, very accurate for me. So the way I'm trading with the RSI, I am using AIRO to do it. And I have compared with other indicators, and I don't like the way their zones are written, and AIRO's have been more accurate. So when I do teach this RSI strategy, it is with AIRO, but I will try and do so later if I can. If I draw fibs on the H1 time frame, do I use it to enter H1 or M5? Good question. Either or is my answer. Here's the thing. I'm gonna leave S&P there because I'm not touching NAS today. NAS just did this mess. No, thank you. When I see stuff like that, that tells me this is not my day to touch that index. Okay. Here's the H1 off of NASDAQ. Remember I showed you guys I took this bag entry alert, right? Bag entry, strategy 1, but I did it on the H1. So you can call it strategy 2 if you want to, but I utilized this and I drew my fib and I knew how to hold on to hold it. But this is a bounce, arrow, go. To answer that question, I took the trade off of the H1 right here. I had another position. I took that position right here and I wrote it on up. All right. So that is, you can take it off of the H1. The only time I would go to a smaller time frame, and by the way, I did not do peekaboo on that one because when I'm on the H1, I don't necessarily look at peekaboo unless, which is where I'm going to with the smaller time frame, I got in late. The AIRO alert, and I look at my chart and I'm like, I missed it, or I was out driving or something. I can't trade from my phone while I'm driving. That's not good. Y'all better not be doing that. So I get home and I'm like, oh, okay, it's been an hour past the alert, right? And I usually go by, did it already hit the take profit? Did it already complete its move? If it didn't, I would go down to a smaller time frame, peekaboo, see if I could jump in and still carry myself through to where my intended take profit was supposed to be. That would be the only time I do that, me personally, when I'm trading off of H1 to go down to a smaller time frame. Other than that, I trust these AIRO alerts very much so after trading with them for so long that I don't necessarily need to go to a smaller time frame just to enter for an H1 alert. Not really. And if anything, I would say not necessarily looking at H1 alerts, but draw your fib. You know, if you draw your Fibonacci, you'll be able to look at levels, and maybe this, what happened right here, would have been an entry. I could tell you, I think I told everybody the other time, I got in on US 30 and S&P off of candlestick entries off of the H1. This right here, you know, this was an engulfing candle off of a H1 alert. So I got in on US 30 here. This is Sunday night this week. And then I took another position when I got the bag arrow alert. And then we rode it to the zone, me and the squad, you know. So and that was based off me drawing my fib too to see where it's at. But it's always beautiful when you can catch it right off of a zone. So that, hopefully that answers that question. And y'all let me know if there's any pairs that's generating trades or anything, because you know I don't be looking at currency pairs, y'all.
No, I got you.
Okay, you got it. I'm just running through the Q&A then, since we're waiting on things.
Yeah. So we got a couple. We got Euro NZD that popped up. We got Euro CAD. We got Aussie CAD. We got Kiwi Yen.
I can look at a couple too with you, Matt.
Yeah, we got
Drop me one.
Which ones do you want me to take?
All right, let's take Jackie, you do Euro NZD.
Gotcha.
CB, what about you do Euro CAD?
Okay.
I'll do Aussie Swiss.
Cool. Euro NZD. I wonder if that's still on a downtrend. Yep. That thing been on a downtrend for weeks. Oh well, shoot, I just said it. It's been on a downtrend, and that's an up arrow. That's a no. That
right.
Is not.
Here, I'll give you another one.
Yeah.
So you did Euro Kiwi. Is that what you did?
I did Euro Kiwi.
Okay. So do I'm on Aussie Swiss, so you do Kiwi Yen.
Gotcha. Oh, really? You guys, you trade that one, huh? Okay.
So I just looked at EuroCAD, and this is one of these, Matt, again, where there was a downward arrow that I think invalidates the trade.
Did you want to share your screen, or you want me to do it?
I can't. I actually am on two different computers.
Sure.
I find that the Zoom calls slow down my VPS a little bit, so I talking to you guys from a laptop.
Gotcha. No problem. You said EuroCAD?
EuroCAD, yeah.
Gotcha. Just throw that thing on there. And then
actually, you know what, Jackie, don't even worry about EuroCAD. It's a downward trend, and it's an up arrow. So
got you. I see it.
Yeah. And so if we're looking at Aussie Swiss, really strong uptrend, down arrow, right into a potential support zone about 5 pips away. So that is a no-go as well.
And Kiwi Yen. I'm looking at Kiwi Yen. It's an uptrend. Zooming out, and I hope everybody's following. We're just following the rules. It's fast, but we're following the rules of arrow. Bounce arrow, go follow the trend. We're following the trend, and we're zooming out real fast. It only takes a few seconds once you get the hang of it. What did I say? Kiwi Yen is on an uptrend.
Yeah.
And that's a down arrow, so that's a no-go.
All right. And then I got pound Kiwi and CB, if you can do Euro Aussie.
Okay.
So I got pound Kiwi as well.
Oh, okay. Pound Kiwi, got you. I wonder if
that was a lot of alerts, guys. That was a lot of alerts.
Pound Kiwi.
Ooh. Well, your zone's far, but you're in a downtrend, and I don't. Yeah. No. It's a second arrow.
Yeah.
It's a second arrow. You're in a downtrend. You're gonna get a retracement. If you put a trend line from the top of that high way up there, you can.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have. It's probably gonna reverse there.
Yeah, it totally is.
Euro Aussie is similar. It's right next to a resistance, and it's the opposite direction. So.
Okay.
All right. So they're all trades
invalid.
We're not taking today.
Invalid trade.
But that doesn't mean that you can't use a different strategy and take it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Like there's so many ways to actually trade the system. What we're doing is just trying to show you like the trades that are the highest probability.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Because when you're starting, taking losses kind of affects your head.
Yeah, it does. It challenges your confidence.
Well,
I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to have to get ready to take off, everybody. But I'm so thankful that I get to jump on here. What do you say? GPP CAD was a good one. Oh, well.
Well, where? who said that?
It was in the chat. I just saw that.
GBP CAD. Where's that?
I think that was an up arrow. It was a second up arrow, and it was going against the trend, if I wasn't mistaken.
GBP CAD.
Oh no, maybe it was going with the trend, but I said you needed to wait for that retracement to be done.
We looked at it. It's just there's such a strong move up, and the second arrow kind of scared Jackie and me anyway.
I don't like second arrows.
Yeah. And if you do the peekaboo, there's a zone a little closer, but there is still room. I mean, it is a valid trade.
Yeah, just a peekaboo, just sniper entry. I don't like drawdown, so if I can avoid drawdown as much as possible, not to say that it will never happen, but I'd rather take 1 to 2 pip drawdown versus 10 to 15 pip drawdown.
Right.
Go,
let
Gina.
Me see if I can. Let me see if I can hop into share my screen. Maybe do a little bit of technical analysis on GCAD just so that we can have an idea of what's going on.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna see you guys later. I see Al and Dante are here, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say hi and bye, you guys.
Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate you, and we'll talk sooner than later. I got some trades to show you. Actually, I'm in NAS, and I went short.
Did you?
Yeah. So anyway, we'll drop it there.
No problem. I'll probably start scalping here in a bit after I come back. Y'all
All
take
right.
care. Have an excellent weekend, everybody. Happy trading.
Yep. Take care. All right. So that anyway, you guys may have heard that I was in NAS, but it's scalping exclusively. It's not really bag entry, just lower time frame. And it's demo because I'm learning. So let's go take a quick look at what we've got here. I'm going to share my GCAD. I'm going to draw the zones. I'm going to do, hold on a sec here. Hold on a second. Just fixing my time frames and my charts. So here we go. There we go. Perfect. So just so we're all on the same page, I'm going to actually go over to the over here and draw the zones that showed up. So 76, 3, 8, 38. And we're just doing this while we're waiting for another alert. $76.38. Yeah, like right here. Something funky is happening. $75.35. Oh, that's what's happening. I'm sorry, guys. I was up for a while. $76.38. This is there's a red zone up here. This is how I go back test sometimes when I'm trying to figure out what happened or how I can improve what I'm doing here. So let's make this red. Then we got red, but that's not the right spot. The next zone is 75.65. Right here. So we're going into that red zone. So if you guys do have questions, please put them in the chat there.
Let's answer a few.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. So the bag entry was actually right here. Well, the AIRO. So we'll recreate that. Boom. Okay. And then we'll put another one here because that's where that other one is. So if you were right at the entry, you would have had enough room to take that trade. But personally, I'm not going to be I wouldn't take that trade. But that doesn't mean that that it won't just fly through and hit this one, right? Because this is a pretty strong zone. I don't have it drawn out exactly as AIRO has it, but you can tell that this is a pretty strong zone of resistance that it's got to get through. So we could anticipate that it comes up and it lollygags in here a little bit, and then maybe it comes up, tags it, and then down. But who knows what price is going to do. This is a very, very strong move, so we'll see what happens. What were you about to say?
Oh, Matt, I was going to ask you real quickly. When you see such a huge candle there, it's actually the first arrow. Does that do you see that as a red flag that a lot of the momentum was already taken in that candle, or is that?
I don't chase trades because I've gotten burned too many times by chasing trades, and they're like that's where I stand on that. If I could have got in here, perfect. I'm not going to enter on that 15-minute candle against the trend or against my idea.
Just so you know, that the first arrow was that big candle, actually.
Oh, it was. Oh, I got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Right. Almost where my
yeah. So you would the candle after the big move up would have been the candle we'd be looking at. And I just feel like often when you see such a huge candle that generated the arrow, that you've already kind of used up some of the momentum for that trade. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yes, sir. You want to talk about pips? Well, that candle is 82 pips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not entering a trade 82 pips after the move's done.
Yeah.
There's going to be better trade entry opportunities.
This one would have worked out, actually, as you look at it now, but
it's not high probability enough for myself.
Right. Yep.
So everyone can take go to where they're comfortable with, right? Just because someone doesn't take a trade doesn't mean that that it's not a valid trade. It just means it's not something that they're comfortable with taking. So we got another 2 minutes before we're going to get some alerts. There's a question here. Do you have auto trading on all the time? I heard that we don't use auto to trade with AIRO. So AIRO is not an semi-automated system or whatnot. Something really, really important to note, though, is if you do not click auto trade and click your settings properly, then and that's also in the beginning lessons, but you need to have auto trading on if you want to have the pop-ups. If you want to get the notifications on your phone, though, you're not going to get notifications unless you have auto trading enabled. You're still going to get the arrows and stuff, but you're not going to get it on your phone, and you're not going to also get it as a pop-up in your MetaTrader 4. So let me see if I can. Let's see this real quick here. You see we're getting a rejection here, but what could be interesting is you might have something like this. Yeah, there was a lot of news, right? Today, just so that we're all aware, there was a lot of news. Let's go check Forex Factory. I checked too. I check my FX book. My FX book has a whole bunch of news events here. Economic calendar. Here, I'll share my screen. Share this part of my screen here so everyone can see. So, my FX book, you go down to economic calendar, come take a quick look. You're like, oh yeah, well, we've got today, look at all the red news. Lots and lots. So now we're going to have Aussie red news event in 7 hours. But other than that, most of the news events for today are done. Let's go check. While we wait for some alerts here. All right, we got a couple more alerts to take a look at. So we got Kiwi Swiss, Kiwi CAD. Just a sec. All right. Let's go Kiwi Swiss. Can you take a look at Kiwi CAD? Would you mind? All right. You'll notice I'm messing around with some crypto stuff, so let's zoom out a bit. So we got a strong uptrend, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green zones. You got 2 red zones up here. You got a down arrow. Not enticing to try and take this short here. And then you got Kiwi Swiss. Kiwi Swiss is the same story. You got a really strong uptrend, and then you're going down into a down arrow. So there is a potential setup for if we get an arrow up, this could be a really nice trade. So we'll pay attention to that for the sake of future. You know, if we get an up arrow and price crosses that moving average, there might be enough room to take it to the top there. Nah. So we'll see what happens. Give me just a sec. Here, we're just gonna listen to some tunes. Gonna go through the question, the Q&A while we're waiting for another potential alert there. But right now, nothing really to trade. So let's go take a quick look here. Go. Let's just check this out. So I can talk a little bit about RSI. We had a couple RSI questions. Personally, I don't use RSI a whole lot, but relatively straightforward there. So if we've got, actually, let's make this disappear for a sec. All right, cool. So RSI. Depends what settings you want to use. Some people use 13. Some people, this is pretty much the moving average length. Then you can have upper bands and lower bands. Some people like default. Some people will use 89 and 11. Some people will use different settings. I've always liked 89 and 11. So for example, where it's 70, instead of having 70, which most people will use 70, price can still keep on coming up a little bit. So if I put 70 in the RSI, basically there's an overbought zone and an oversold zone. If I put 70, 30, which is the default. So we'll keep it for default for the sake of it. This would be the overbought zone, and this would be the oversold zone. So if it then comes down back into this area, then depending on how you feel, you could potentially take it short from there. If it was down here and it broke this zone, then you could take it long, but you can't just trade with RSI, right? You're gonna get your butt handed to you if you just use one thing and you don't have an additional confirmation like our wonderful system called AIRO. AIRO is going to keep you out of a lot of bad trades. So that's the basis of RSI. Now you can play around with RSI depending on, you can do some Google research, and you might find that people like 13, right? That changes this purple line, or it's also 34. That's another one. So 34. So there's you can, it's very customizable to whatever you feel. Just for me, for the sake of my sanity, I don't play with it too much. But here we've got GBP CAD. It's coming up to try and break through the top there. So I'm just going to see what if we have something else. We've got I'm just going to get rid of some questions that have been out for a little bit here. Just a sec. We got all these alerts, and now we've got no alerts. Should be waiting another 1 minute or so, and then we'll see if we get a couple more alerts here. Oh, all right. So we got Aussie Kiwi buy. Let's go take a quick look and see what's going on here. So we zoom out, take a quick little peek. We have a very, very strong downtrend, like stunningly strong. So I would only be taking down arrows from here. I wouldn't be going up into this. There's just too much pressure on the downside. So this one is a no-go for me. Oh, let's maybe take a look at NAS later. How about that? So we got Kiwi Swiss short. Let's go see. So we're going into a green zone there, and we're in an uptrend. So it seems like a lot of the currency pairs are just consolidating at this point. So when it consolidates, that means that we're getting ready for it to break out of whatever direction it is. Someone brand new learned something today. You know what? If you learn one thing every day, you know, it's going to bring you that much closer to where you got to be. Let me just check something here real quick. All right. Going to check the other alerts that we had here. Dante's coming pretty soon. Okay, he's coming pretty soon. He just had something big happen, so let's leave it that way. He's coming soon. All right. In the meantime, let's go take a quick look here. Nothing else to really play with that. Kiwi Swiss, Kiwi CAD. See, you got your down arrow into a strong zone. And then if you look at, I'll bring up my other charts because I just like drawing on the trading view a lot better. So if we go to Kiwi Swiss, Kiwi CAD, can actually draw some trend lines. Here you got a break at the bottom. Now that is interesting. Let's hold on a sec here. So here's a percentage chance, okay, that you could potentially end up down here in a short because it broke the bottom. So right now you got 1 tag, 2 tag, 3, 4 tags on this trend line, and then it broke. So the likelihood, there's a probability chance associated to this stick that it gets all the way down.
And what's that probability chance, my brother Matt?
About 75. Well, that's 23 pips, right? So we can revisit that later. But this is not a really big. This is moving pretty slow right now. So, hey, welcome.
Now, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, dude? We have what's happening right now in AP is insane, insane. So, apologies to everybody. It's just been a crazy week. We had another guy literally just popped 10K, icon 10,000 this morning. So it's a $10,000 a month income. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal.
Number 5 in 2021. So we only 34 days into the new year, 35 days into the new year, and we've had 5 different people hit $10,000 a month. So it's a lot, and none of them live in America. So it's been a lot of calls with the Australian and the UK team. So very, very excited.
So Big Mo is working.
Man, listen.
Big Mo is working. You know, it takes a long time to get Big Mo moving, but once it does, once she starts moving, there's no stopping her.
Yes, it is. Momentum.
A lot of work to start, but once it's going, there's no stopping. So, yeah, a little bit of a quieter day today.
That's what it's looking like. Any trades, anything?
Nothing that I felt met the criteria for me. There was a couple that could have possibly passed that I wasn't going to take. Just because it was going right up into that into a zone there. So let's see where that other one. I've got lots of stuff going on here. I'm falling in love with the indices, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm falling in love with them, and I'm playing around with them, and I don't even want to talk about how many pips I scored over the last couple hours, but it's been, but it's not something you're going to walk into and be able to obliterate, right? You need to take your volume of demo trades, right?
I know that's right.
Like that's a major drop. So if I zoom out, if I get a down arrow, that's something I might want to take. This is a 1 minute chart though, by the way, guys. So that's totally different. So what I've been understanding from the scalping of the NAS, I'm not even going to talk about that much more than that, but if it crosses that moving average and then you get a down arrow, you could probably take it just to the zone, and then your stop loss would be on top of that, the previous zone. So it's just something to mess around with.
Quick scalping.
Quick, very quick, because you don't want to be in these trades very long.
Yeah,
because oh no, that's yeah. Talk to Coach Mo about that. She's well acquainted with those things. Here, take a look at my XRP. How beautiful that was. I'm still in a mess, right? But it's going to eventually work itself out. My account is
H1.
Go H1. What do you got?
Yeah. I'm just looking. I'm just curious.
So
yeah, once she breaks that red zone there, you'll be in the
clear. It's game over. I'll be out of all these. but you can tell I had two positions way up here. So that's where, but they're so small, guys. The pips in crypto and the pips in Forex or whatnot are totally different.
Completely.
They don't look. It says 7,000, but it's not. It's literally, I'm probably in drawdown like 5% of my account right now.
Yeah, it's not
on all of these trades. So I took it on the way up. I let go of some here, walked out with 10% profit. And some of these trades, these are just some that I was getting on the way up so that I could get to my break even point faster, because I don't see it breaking here. And even if it broke all the way down here, it still wouldn't blow my account. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
So
that.
if you count the cost, it's no problem. But that's where you need to understand your position sizing and what you're risking in the trade. It's so important. Because if you just looked at the pips, you'd be like, Matt, what the heck are you doing? Right? It's not the same. So let's go check this out. Yeah, I was on the call last night with Nate. It was good.
Yeah, I saw some TPs getting hit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're still going down, see? Just dropping. It's going to have some resistance here. See that big long wick on the way down? I make no apologies for using TradingView. I have a love for TradingView because of its user friendliness, and a lot of people that like doing technical analysis just love TradingView. A whole bunch of indicators you can use that are built in, a whole bunch of strategies, just lots of really good. It's a premium charting platform that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, but it is an additional expense, right?
True.
Okay. If you're saying that Nate said that there's a TradingView version coming, then now I'm going to get some goosebumps, because that's going to make my life so much better. But I love TradingView. It's so easy to draw trend lines, and I can throw alerts on anything I want on a moving average cross, or add alert on a trend line. And I create it and I send an email, or I can notify it on the app, or I can get it to ring my phone, whatever I want. That's fantastic, Dante. People doing great all over the world.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, you got something special. Just really, really investing all this into so many people, and excuse the pun, but impacting so many lives. Big deal.
I try to tell people, man, the relationship currency is so valuable.
It's invaluable. You can't put a price on it. I mean, we've met in person 2-3 times over the last couple of years.
Right.
And as soon as I met you, there was something in that just said, like, okay. I didn't know you from anyone. I didn't even know that you were that successful the first time I met you way back then. You know, you were just so down to earth and kind, and that stuck with me.
Man, I think we're all successful, man. It's just because success is a moving target. So it's like wherever your target is wherever your view of success is in your own head, that's where it's at. So for me, I choose to live like I'm always successful, because if we're waiting on an accomplishment to validate our success, then you're gonna be waiting forever, because as soon as you get the accomplishment, then what? You gotta validate it again. So there's another accomplishment now that you're chasing. So it's like Yeah, I mean, it's just some. This is just my like, bro. This is such good stuff. I love like I don't know how this conversation always slips into things like that, but for people as you're going through, you know what I mean, just going through your life and figuring out, you know what I mean, what your next step is, what your next goal is, all those things, like finding joy and finding that like you couldn't have told me, somebody could have met me 3 years ago before I ever made a thousand, hundreds of, whatever it was, whatever, before I ever made any serious money, and you wouldn't have known that. Like you could have known by my energy, like you would have thought I already made $1 million. You know what I'm saying? By how I acted then, because when you start to just
Exactly.
put yourself in that mode, like it carries with you everywhere. It's not just
It was a given.
right.
It was a given.
Mm-mm.
So just waiting on another alert there. But
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking. I literally opened up probably every chart now in the last like
yeah,
10 minutes.
I did too. I've got a couple of screens, so I'm just showing this one. This might come back up and tag this trend line. If it does, then there might be an opportunity to take it short, but we'll see what happens. That's
How about the pound news?
Oh, yeah. Let's that moved.
Yeah.
Look at pound yen, man. Look at pound yen. Pound yen went to the moon.
Sure did. So did GA.
Yeah, they all went to the moon. But you know what? I don't pay enough attention to news, and I definitely don't trade news. So I try to stay away from any red folders, and that's how I kind of protect myself.
Right. I feel that.
Because there's too many news events out there, and I'm not a fundamental trader by any means.
Yeah, I love news.
I
I love news. I think news is good. Like I don't study it like I used to, or kind of psych myself out about it.
Yeah.
It just moves the market. Like at the end of the day, we need volatility. Like we need stuff to happen. So it's whenever there are folders, I don't look at it like, oh my gosh, I should be scared. It's like this is good. Like I hope, you know what I mean, something happens that could bring some volume into the market.
Yeah, well, look, like there's nothing new that happened here, guys. That's the news, right? Well, the news broke this trend line, broke this wedge, and then you had a moving average cross and it broke out. So let's go see what do we.
You got some second arrows on these GBPs. Did anybody take those or not? I might have taken them for 10 pips.
How do you feel about second arrows?
You take them, only take them for half, and it's got to be obviously the trend clear and no zone within at least 20 pips. But for the second arrow, it's not. I'm not like in love with them, but I would just take them for the 5, maybe 10 pips. Like,
okay,
I'll take a second arrow for short pips before we catch just nothing. You know what I mean? Because I do think even if you look at some of these pounds, there were some entry opportunities here. If you turn the share thing on, I'll bring them up.
Oh yeah, here I'll stop sharing.
As I'm looking at it after you guys were looking at it live though, so it's like a different.
Little different. You know, hindsight's always 20/20, so sometimes it's harder to. Especially if you're on a live call and you're monitoring chat and everything, it's multitasking. This kind of.
Yeah, so like this first arrow here was like the 3-4 a.m. So they could have caught this on London maybe, because once this closed, you would have entered right here off your bag. Once you have, actually no, downtrend. So different perspective. One of the ones that wasn't up though. I think it was maybe GJ. I feel like I saw more green. Yeah, one of these had more green, right? So for GJ, this came after the fact. So this arrow down here didn't come down here. It came after this candle close. So all this move had already happened. So your entry would have been right here, and that would have been a little scary of an entry right after news, and you see a big pulse like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't shock me if somebody did or didn't pull the trigger at that one, and then this one I would have left it alone, being how high it is. And where's our next zone?
Yeah, that's what we did. We didn't take that trade. That's the trade someone said they would have taken.
Nah, I would have left that
I'm
alone.
like, you know what? You had that huge move. You're looking for a 23.6 to 38.2 retracement. It could go as far as 61.8 if it's going to continue in that same direction. But I'm not buying at the top of a run.
Yeah, I can't. Even though the H1 here looks a lot better than the 15.
It does.
It's just when you're looking at the H1 though, I wouldn't be mad about any drawdown from here to here. You know what I mean? Like I would be comfortable with some DD. But it's still like a forced kind of move. But there is no zone up here though, which is interesting. Where's our next zone? High. Nothing. All
Do
green.
4 hour?
Okay, you got a little zone up here. Let's
but
investigate. I mean, she's about
that's
that's
just that zone. That means nothing. That means nothing. I don't put no weight on that.
Yeah, I really don't. Not when you got the stepping ladder of a lifetime right here.
No. That could be a pretty nice position.
It's a swing trade though.
Yeah, that's swinging for sure.
Yeah, it's a swing trade. Even on a daily. See, I don't like it on a daily now with this strong resistance here.
No.
See,
But that's way the heck back. That's what's that? Is that pound yen?
This is pound yen, and this resistance is in freaking March of 2020. Or January actually. Sheesh.
Daily.
We're at like a long time high. See how this thing plays out. But it looks good. When you see the H1 arrow like this with nothing above it, it's hard not to take that with the trend trading strategy, because the trend trading strategy 2, you're trying to catch it right here and right here and right here and just catch these bounces and ride it up to that next level at least. So
yeah, it could go 148.10.
This would be one I would take on demo and let it play out. Let's see.
The next real level beyond that is like 148.10 after it breaks where it is right now. So you're going up like another 200 and some pips.
Right.
But you're gonna have to cover your stop loss, right? So you're potentially what do you use it? Like a person would need to have at least a 50.
If I'm looking at this, if I were to take this entry right up top after this impulse, you got to be comfortable with all of this potential drawdown, because it could come back here, find a new level of support, and then shoot up. That's how it's play. So if I were to take a trade like this, I would have to put my stop. Like it would be a big stop. Yeah, it's like even on the H4, it's too big. I mean, it's 100 pips, so it's not crazy, but that's where I would be at. That's the kind of that's swing trading, is when you have that kind of room open, especially for a forex pair. But for me, I like it. Just play with the moving average. Like for me, my stop loss would be under the moving average. And see,
that's good. That's good. I've really started to enjoy the moving average. Whatever's in that moving average, the math works.
Correct. It's telling you the story. Like, you know what I mean? It's letting you know.
It really is.
Like it's. But yeah, I'm not gonna just throw it in there. But these are just what I would think about. Because I mean, but GJ looks the best out of all the other ones, because these are all sitting in zones right now. So it's like I wouldn't take any of these right now. GJ was the best looking one out of them all.
New strategies coming out today, right? It's every Thursday. Strategy number 9.
Is that 9 that's releasing today? That's lit.
I think. I'm only running on like 4 hours sleep, so.
Yeah, bro, you've been staying up trading London, bro. You brave.
Let's see here. I wasn't in the Hawkeye session this morning, but Euro AUD.
They caught that today?
Is what they took. I want to go see what.
Go ahead. You go ahead. Check it out.
Sec here. Euro AUD, where are we at? Oh, I already had it open. So we're red, downtrend, 3 green zones. Probably talking about that one right there. They wouldn't be taking this one. So let's go take a quick look. Is this the someone mentioned in the chat that this is the trade they would have taken? I don't know if I don't know if that's the one they're talking about, because it was under the moving average, right? You're under the moving average. I'm thinking this actually, because you don't have this here, right? If you're, I'm gonna do it on Trading View real quick. So give me a sec. I'm just gonna replicate it. Euro AUD. It looks like one of those that are gonna stop you out. Remember, we're looking at this in hindsight, so. See, you got a really, really strong downtrend. And then here's that W. So you can see it right here. So if we didn't have, if we only had the AIRO, okay, this is where we need to imagine that we didn't have access to this part here. So I'll just make a block here. The AIRO showed up here. Let's make a, let's make this disappear. Okay. So if we're looking for our sakes here, let's get rid of this too. This is what I see, right? This is the first thing I see as soon as I look at that. And then we have a down arrow. And that down arrow shows up at, just a sec here, right here. So it looks like it's a rejection of that trend line. Would you say? Yeah, I would have taken this trade if I was looking at this and I didn't see what was going on. I would be taking that trade, and I would have been stopped out. Let's go check the Q&A real quick here. Bren's got a great question. So if he's in, should he trade in euros if he's in the UK, or should he stay in dollars? And my answer to that is, this is what I'm doing, is I've always had a US dollar account, even though I'm in Canada. But ever since switching my brokers, now I can have a Canadian dollar account, which means that I can use my Canadian dollars, which is worth 30%, about 31 something percent less than US dollars, means I can have more capital in my trading account to trade with, even though the dollars are worth a little bit less. So for example, when you withdraw and convert it into your own currency, then it's gonna be a lot simpler than that. So totally up to you. Mario asks how long I've been trading. I've been trading for the last 4 years. Spent a couple $1,000 learning. And I've never seen a system as simple and easy and friendly to use as AIRO. From a professional background, spent the last couple of years working for JP Morgan Chase as a senior analyst. What are we talking about, NAS? Let's go see NAS for a bit. Got NZD CAD real quick. I'm gonna go take a quick check at that and see what's up. So NZD CAD's a short. It's saying to go down. You got a strong uptrend. Not seeing a whole lot of tradable things. GBP USD for a buy. Let's go see. You got no bounce on a green zone. You got a red zone up here. Just trying to stick to the highest probability trades.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Just sort of wondering your opinion on this. So it looks like you see the long red candle right before the first upward arrow there on that chart.
Yep.
So that candle looks to me like it started low and ended high. So in a normal chart, it would be, I think that would be green.
Yes, it
right?
would.
I'm wondering why AIRO made that one red. Do you have any ideas? Not that
No, I didn't change the settings. I didn't.
No, it's red on my chart too. So I mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
GU, when I go over to TradingView, it's definitely going to be a bullish candle. So,
right.
So if I go look here, GU, but yeah, I would be taking this trade. I would have taken this trade early in the morning if I was trading it, and I would have been potentially stopped out because it looked good up to this point.
Right.
You know,
I got knocked out of that trade actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not surprised because it looks like a good trade.
Yeah, I didn't go all the way to the stop loss. I got out when the candle ended above the moving average. And
Yeah, so you would have exited here.
yeah,
And you said this 15-minute candle. Yeah, that's fine. You know what? You're not getting your butt handed to you.
right.
And that's where this trend line comes into play. Yes, you're
Yep.
using a tighter stop loss, but you're making potentially a lot more money every time it goes in your direction. So if we were talking about your stop loss, so if you position size that, so you knew you were stopping if that candle broke. So that was probably a manual exit. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So your stop loss in your trading account would have been somewhere.
You got it.
Maybe there.
Exactly.
And then, so here, let's do some math, guys. This is gonna help some people out. So yes, using a tighter stop loss is going to get you stopped out more often, but you're going to see exactly why it's not a big deal. So say what did you put? What were you aiming for? You were aiming 20 pips?
I was aiming for 20 pips. Yep.
Yeah.
I have to remember now. I believe that there was a new zone popped up, so I moved it down to about 17 pips because there's a new zone down below.
Okay. So, but your position sizing is based on this, yeah?
Yes. Yep.
So here, you get stopped out. You're only losing like a fraction of a percent. So say you have, you're risking 2% of your trade, of your account in the trade, then you're only losing like 0.5% of your account. Because here, you take yourself out here, you're going to be out 1%. You take yourself out here, it's like 0.5%. So it's really powerful. But that takes a tremendous amount of discipline and a whole lot of volume of trades. But that's a different way that you can do it. So instead of taking a 40 pip stop loss, which it potentially could, right? It could end up into this zone. Then you're taking a 5, 10 pip stop loss. And then you're not crying about it, right? You're not worrying about that later on because you know that your risk to reward is really good now. Let me just see this real quick here. And to expand on what Cameron's talking about, it's also, I use that for the other softwares as well because I'm running Variable, Gearbox, and AIRO, and Neo the Legend's coming out soon, and that is going to be a game changer for some people because the drawdown is very, very low. Let's check this out. But does this make sense to you guys? Why you may want to have a real strong trend line, and then if the trade doesn't go in your direction and it doesn't work out, you just manually take yourself out and wait for another position? Losing 0.5% or even 1% of your account is not a game changer for the day, but taking a 2% loss might be, depending on your tolerance. Oh, okay, Chris. Drew a wedge on GCAD, lasted for 3 hours. You draw one so I can compare. All right. let's go take a quick look. So GCAD. Let's do that while we're waiting for another trade idea. It would help if you gave me what time frame that you drew it on, but let's just so this is the 4-hour time frame. And if I wanted to be very particular about it, at the time, that's probably what I would have drawn, you know, and now you got the breakout of that wedge. So maybe she might end up there. But when you're drawing these 4-hour or these higher time frame wedges, it does take it can take significant amount of time. Oh, Nicole, great question. Any reason why I'm not using a remote desktop instead of this? I'm just used to it. I just like having it in my browser. But yeah, no, I might consider doing that. I just like having it in my browser so I can move it around. Maybe we'll do that. Nothing specific around it. I don't do a whole lot of stuff. I just look for the zones. So I don't spend a lot of time in MT4. I really don't. I put the zones up on my trading view and I do my analysis there. I use it kind of as an alert idea. We got NAS, we got. I'm not comfortable enough talking about NAS, to be honest, and it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, so I wouldn't be doing it any justice at all. I can talk about the some technical stuff. Oh, you drew it on the 5-minute. Okay, give me a sec. So if you had a 5-minute wedge. So the top trend line still remains the same. You've got this guy here. You see, you're looking for highs and lows, and then you're drawing a line. Here is more of a channel. So that's the stick. There's actually 2 ways to draw the stick. You can do it from the, I guess you'd call it the apex or the highest high. One is higher probability than the other. This one's obviously going to be a higher probability to hit the target than that one. That's why I always use this one in the middle. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'll go from this one to there, right? And you put it at the breakout. So I don't want to be, if I'm on the 5-minute and I'm trading, I don't want to be in this trade that whole time. Hope that gives a little bit of insight into why the sticks are there and how a person can use them to stay in a trade significantly longer. Let's go check this out. Yeah, Chris, I think you're fine. This is the major trend line that I was looking at. So this is the one that if it breaks, it's got to go. This one is from a lower time frame perspective, and this is another one. So it just shows you how you can use wedges to take your entries that much further. So if I wanted to do a different one, there's another wedge here, and I'll show you. And this is basically all you're looking for when you're doing your wedges, right? You're just looking for lows and highs. So this is a strong trend line, and then you put a one going up, and then once it breaks, this one, boom. Was it a surprise that it went all the way up there and started consolidating where it was at? No. But like I said, this is doing it in hindsight. So, but it just brings a little bit more validity to the concept. My target on wedges, and my win rate on wedges, I'm at about 70%. I got about 70% when I draw a wedge. When it comes to AIRO, it's we're getting up there into the 80% zone. But I don't mind taking more losses with a tighter stop loss. Because it's not always about win rate, it's how much money you're putting in your trading account. What's your... And I'll show it one more time just in case some people came in a little bit late. But I believe there was a bag entry here somewhere. I got rid of the... So say for the sake of this was a bag entry and it was valid. The guidelines provided are that, and then this might not be the right candle, but say that's the candle right here. And your stop loss is, you're going to use a 40 pip. 40 pip. And you're risking 2% of your trading account. So that means, that means that if it goes all the way down, you're down 2%. Okay. So that means it goes up to this amount, you make 1%. Got it? Now, if you shrink this down to say underneath this trend line, right? So I'm going to zoom in. This trend line is where my stop loss is, and I tend to move it. And this is, we might lose some people here, and I'm not really going to be apologetic for it, but you'll get there. This is where my stop loss is. I'm kind of trailing it visually. I don't set trades and forget them. I manually trade myself out. So here's my stop. So officially, if I took, I'd be taking this as my stop loss, right? So say I got generally about 7.5 to 10 pip stop loss is what I'm playing with. And then you put 2% of your account into that. That means every time your account goes the 20 pips or whatnot. So say, yeah, 80. All right, so 8 pips. So 8 pips. If it went 20 pips, you're making two and a half. So you're making about 5% on here. You're making significantly more. Because every time your trading account goes your risk amount, so eight pips in this case. Let's make the math make sense. It's going to be easier to count. Say it was just 10. So every time it goes 10 pips, I'll make whatever I risk. So say I risk 2% of my trading account, then every time it goes 10 pips, I'll make 2%. Where it really starts making money is when you start getting these bigger runs. And when it breaks the trend line, then you're going to be in a whole different world. But this is just what you can do when you put a mastery on trend lines. I just want to not really entice people to learn trend lines, but they're going to be like your best friend. And if you want an even better target than the stick, you want to have a higher probability win rate, you can do half the stick. So in this case, the whole stick's 150 some pips. So if I go 75, you're still in profit. So from the break to that. If I was taking this trade here, my stop loss once it broke through here would be right underneath this trend line. Because if it then changed directions, I don't want to be in that trade. And here we got another wedge. This on the lower time frame. So let's go see Euro JPY. Lionel had a question, said that isn't the risk to reward with the stop loss. Well, it sets your, obviously, it's going to be controlling your risk in the trade, but it's also going to get you out of bad trades. So that's the other thing. It's not just going to get you out of bad trades. It's also your profit regulator. So the tighter your stop loss, the more you can load your, the more lots you can use in your trade. Hold on a sec here. Yeah, Cameron, you're absolutely correct. So the guidelines for AIRO, okay, as a general rule, is you're going to be risking 40 pips, a 40 pip stop loss for a 20 pip target, but it's very rare that you do take the full 40 pip stop loss. Okay, very rare, but it will happen. Most of the time, there's another zone that pops out that you can get out of. So there might be a resistance zone that shows up or whatnot, and it's going to keep you from taking your full loss. But when you position size with a tighter stop loss, then that's where you can put more value into your trade, make more dollars per pips. Hold on here. Got a lot of questions to get through in just a sec. So there was a question around large dumps and jumps and big movements like that. They do come from market makers. There's a lot of players, but generally central banks. Anytime any governor of a central bank speaks, that currency could move, could fluctuate. There was an interest rate decision that caused this spike, so that's a pretty big deal. So yeah, that is generally that. But I also saw a question about how do technicals and indicators work when there's those big moves. I draw trend lines everywhere, and it's because I like them. If I see something break a trend line, or I see something, then I'll take it. I had the great opportunity to spend a little bit of time with Coach Mo yesterday after our call, and I just absolutely fell in love with indices. But I don't play around with them enough yet. That's my learning, my demo. I want to find out what's working and what doesn't. So let's not do that. But you see the concept, the principles are going to stay the same. Doesn't matter what you trade. It's just they move a little bit differently. See, you can put your wedges on everything, right? Now I'm drawing these after the fact, so that it'll be a little different, but you can actually put your stick from here to there. This could be potentially take profit 2. This could potentially be take profit 1 once you break the wedge. Not rocket science. Here, trend line. I should delete that. Delete those the other wedges, because I want to show you something. Just while we get another alert here. If I do miss an alert, please let me know, guys. Because right now I'm only scanning the 15-minute for currencies, but here is where I would draw this wedge. I'd have a bottom connection point, and if I was honest about it, this one would be a little bit of a breach right there. And then you're going to the top of your wedge. And then your target. That could be potentially take profit 2, take profit 1, and then here is your stop about 10 pips away from that trend line. So anytime, yes.
Just I'm sure a lot of people are watching you do this. When you draw those sticks for the take profits,
yeah.
I'm not quite catching what you placed that stick on the trend line there. The longer one.
Yeah.
What made you place it like right there on the upper trend line? So I see how you did
I'm
that.
I'm looking down here. I'm looking for the bottom.
No, I get that, but now when you pull it up for where you would take profit, what made you put it like right? Where on that upper trend line do you put the stick for the take profit?
Oh, at the break.
Oh, right at the break. Okay.
Yeah, from the break.
Okay, because you had it a little down before, but okay, I got
it. Yeah, right at the break. So once it breaks, once it breaks through, then that's where it is.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Let me just see. That's a loaded question. There's a really loaded question here. I may have missed the EG trade. Hold on. I'm just gonna go check. EJ, sorry, EJ.
Now I was going right into a resistance.
Yeah, it was no good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked at it.
Okay, cool. XRP is moving again. That's good. I'll be happy when I get myself out of that mess.
So Matt, were you aware of the Telegram channel for the pump on XRP and all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually had a friend ask me to buy him some XRP. I ended up doing it and he got absolutely crushed. But we bought it at like 68 cents, I think.
Oh, Lord, 68 cents?
Yeah. It wasn't my call.
Wow.
I actually warned him that this stuff is fake, but he wanted it. He was on the Telegram channel and thought I was going to pump up to
no.
a couple
$1?
dollars. Oh
No.
yeah, it was painful.
Yeah, no. So
The only thing that makes me mad is it was in my account, so now I have to it shows that loss on my account even though I did it for a buddy. So I gotta kind of subtract that out.
Yeah, that's where I would just switch accounts because it's such a significant damage.
Yeah,
I would just restart.
Yeah.
Because let me see here. Linnell liked what I just did. I don't know if anyone liked this either. This idea of drawing trend lines and then so EJ. Okay, let's go do EJ. I just want to drop a little something. Al and I have spent a tremendous amount of time trading wedges and stuff. This is our bread and butter. So let's go to EJ. Okay. What do we got here, guys? This is a 5-minute chart. You see the wedge. Well, I don't know. I see it. I'm sorry. It's the curse of the wedges, okay? What trend line do you trust more? Do you trust the bottom one that has more hits, or do you trust the top one that only has 2? That's the $1 million question. In this case, I'm going to put more validity on the bottom one. Now I like going back a little bit and seeing if I can get another tag somewhere. Nothing. So this is what I like. Where's it going to break? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. That's on the 5-minute. Now we can go back a little bit. Draw a couple more, have an idea where. I just want to show you that wedges are all over the place. Sometimes our eyes won't be able to identify them unless we have a volume of them. After you draw 1,000 wedges, you'll see them all over the place. See, you can see the stick from the wedge, from the bottom to the top. So now, when this holds true, it might, okay? It might hold true. This might be a reversal. This might go up, it might go down. I'm just gonna go check my chart, my other charts real quick, just a sec here. Putting the yeah, I see more momentum to the upside. So I like it going up better. But let's go see what I'm not going to put that anywhere right now. I don't predict, I just react. Big difference, right? I don't want to have a bias towards one direction or the other. Right now, Euro JPY says a buy. So if I go,
downtrend on AIRO.
Yeah, officially it's a downtrend.
Yeah.
But here, I'm just going to try and throw a little something in there while we're waiting for something, okay? Euro, it was Euro JPY, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, down here. I usually have them. Very strong downtrend, right? Very, very strong downtrend. But what comes down eventually has to go up, right? So you jump to the one hour, and now you're kind of like in an uptrend, and this is actually a retracement of this move. You want to see something really fun? Let's throw some Fibbo action on it. So if I wanted to go from the bottom, oh, this is why I don't like MT4. XRP is moving. That's good. It's not going to be perfect. Okay. So we're at like the 50% level of this entire move up. Not exactly, but let me go to trading view. This was EJ on the 1 hour. EJ on the 1 hour. Okay. Oh, oh, I just saw something. All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to clear everything off my charts. Okay. You want to bet your keister that that's a very strong trend line. This is interesting now. So there's a couple wedges you could draw here, right? You could draw that one. You could draw that one. I like that one better. Looky here. This is my video games now. I just draw wedges all day. I don't want to say that it's going to go in a specific direction, but if you've been following, you know there's a percentage chance, because this is so we're going low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Does that make sense? So anytime you have higher lows and higher highs, this is not going to be perfect, but I want to show you one more thing. See, this one, if I would put it at the origination of it, it wouldn't work. Like if I'm not going to count that hit, that first hit over there for my stick, but oh, okay. Huh.
pretty amazing.
That surprised me. Were you guys watching that?
I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, that's where the power comes from. So, but you see, this is an ascending wedge that broke up, and this is a descending wedge that might probably break to the upside. But wherever it breaks, that's the direction that I'll be taking it. And once you start drawing wedges, your eyes are going to see them all over the place. Anytime you see like a W, you can probably find a really nice wedge, a W or a M. Still learning my eyes for that specifically. We got no other alerts other than that, CB. I don't know if you have anything else on in the Q&A.
I'll look at the Q&A here a little bit, see if there's any.
Yes. Oh, does the wedges work with cryptos and indices? All right. Well, yeah. Here, let me show you something. And this is why Coach Mo and Jackie absolutely, they've fallen in love with some of this stuff. Let's go take a quick look at crypto. How about that? BTC. Haven't looked at it in a long time, right?
That's good.
So first thing I do is I'm looking for where's that trend, right? We got that. I'm looking to hit as many wicks as I can. This is kind of a channel, right? You gotta kind of got like a price channel going on. So this would be considered a channel breaker. That's that channel breaking candle. So, but within that channel, you can draw wedges because every level you guys sitting down? This one doesn't play out properly, but these ones do. So okay. And then here. And then here. So you got a wedge, break, another wedge based on this trend line, but break, break, break. And now we're going down, right? So at least that's the direction of it. So you can draw trend lines on anything. And then when you're in an up move, you're going to have a rally, and then it's going to base, and then potentially rally up again and create a base again, and then rally up and then base. You know where my stop loss on every one of these is? On the other side of this trend line. Because if it goes up and it does this, I'm gonna get stopped out, and I'm fine with that. Why do you think I'm okay taking a stop loss if you have a rally? I'm out, and then potentially you're waiting for it to break again, but you don't get a candle close on the other side. So you're not in that trade.
By the way, Bitcoin on the 5-minute might be setting up for a nice AIRO bag entry.
Okay.
Going up.
Going up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. It's following the trend. I mean, it's not there yet. It's got to break the moving average, but it looks, we already had the bounce.
Okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to bring it up on let's go outside of my comfort zone for a little bit. I don't enjoy doing that when I don't have a volume of trades on Bitcoin. So here you got a W almost, right? You can almost see it. Not really. You're forcing it, but this is like the consolidation, right? When you consolidate, all wedges are the consolidation. So what's the potential oh, I don't want to talk about harmonic patterns, guys. I just saw that in the chat. So let's not it's not going to bring enough value to everyone. If you want to know harmonic patterns, send me a direct message and I'll tell you how I've used them in the past. And oh, I don't have Bitcoin. I'm not scanning Bitcoin on oh, I am. Okay. Ooh, XRP is popping. I'm up 300 pips already. That's good. Might be able to liquidate some positions. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. This is nice. So if we're looking for, if it crosses that moving average, guys, I'm going to open it up a little bit bigger here so you guys can see. Here, hold on here. If it breaks through that moving average and goes up, then we might get an arrow. If we get an arrow, that could be a beautiful trade because you're in a very strong uptrend.
Right.
All right. So let's keep our eyes peeled for that. We still have about 30 minutes in the call, so we still got some time. Now that I'm done doing the stairs, let's what is this? What am I drawing? Oh, here. So let's clear this off. And then let's go do some analysis on this whole run. So if I wanted to have an idea with some Fibbo work, we throw Fibbo retracement. I've always gone from the origination of the move to here or so. Look at that, 38.2 to the pip. Can't make that up.
And by the way, Litecoin is almost identical to Bitcoin right now. Both of them ready to pop.
Oh, structure-wise.
Yep.
But Litecoin, a big word of caution. The spread on Litecoin can murder you. Litecoin can really wreck you. So you don't want to be scalping Litecoin. If someone wants to be trading Litecoin, you're going to want to position trade or swing trade, as some may say. Oh, Bryant, yes. Is that where you got that, CB? Bryant is the one who mentioned it?
No, actually, I was just looking. When we look at Bitcoin, I just always automatically open up Ethereum and Litecoin also.
Oh, okay. Because Bryant mentioned that
Brian already said it
in the chat. Yeah, he's like,
no, sorry, Brian. Give Brian the credit.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Oh, Bryant. Yeah. So we need it to break that moving average. Here. What do you want to bet if the moving average break is going to happen after this trend line? Let me see. I'm just opening up my other charts here.
Yeah, right now Bitcoin's kind of fighting that trend line a little bit.
Oh, Cam, I'm
Or,
not
I
worried
mean,
about
moving
an
average.
SEC lawsuit about crushing XRP. I'm really not. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going through the questions. I got way too many questions.
Oh no, all good. Keep going.
Yeah, Robert, if you've got equal zones, then my understanding is you need at least 50 pips within to move it. So in between the zones to be able to take it, and you need an arrow in that direction. But that's a lower probability trade, right? That's not a, you're not going to, I don't want to say that. You probably won't win 90% of those. It might be 70 or 80 or something like that. I don't have the percentage on that. I'm just based on the volume that I've taken. Oh, great question. Angela wants to know how you add the buy and sell to each instrument or whatever you want to call it. So you just right here, right click, one click trading, boom, it's right there. Be very careful, because as you're trying, if you're twitchy like me, I pretty high strung sometimes, you want to make sure you don't click the wrong button, and you want to make sure your position size is properly, because this could cost you. So be very well aware of what you're doing when you have one click trading on. Let's not do German 30. Just going to go through these questions real quick. So if you get a sell arrow, so Euro AUD, let's go check this real quick just while we're there. Euro AUD. So we got strong sell, and then we got an up arrow. So when you get an up arrow, my understanding is this, is that I'm going to close the trade. And that would remove you from taking that potential stop. So let's go down to a lower time frame. Not a lower time frame, but close it up a little bit. So if you entered here, right, because you're underneath the moving average, which is totally valid, and you're in a downtrend, that's what we were talking about earlier. You got a W here. So your stop, if you put a 40 pip stop loss, let's find out if people are stopped out yet. I think people are going to get stopped out by this. Here's 40 pips. It's inside of this red zone. So this is probably going to stop some people out if they didn't get a good fill. If they entered down here, they're definitely stopped out. But when it crosses that that moving average and it sends me an arrow, I'm going to close out that position, and I will take a loss, because I don't want to be, if the picture changes at any time, I don't want to be in that trade anymore. Let me just get a check. Yeah, so great question about fibs. Are they of any benefit to higher time frames, or are they better utilized on smaller time frames? Well, that's an awesome question. Let's go test out that theory. How about that? One of my mentors is just a legend with Fibonacci, right? Just stunning. Just such a great individual. Brings so much value. Let me go see random. I'll just pick a random pair. GBP AUD, okay? And we'll go to the 4 hour. Got to scrunch it up a little bit. I got a lot of stuff going on here, so let's. I don't want to delete all that. Pound yen. As you can tell, I just want to find one that doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff on it. Okay. EJ. Looks like I don't trade that one very much, so. This is a great opportunity to go over Fibos real quick. So it's 4 hour. So if I was to start with this, I would go here. So you go up, you look for a pullback, right? So my first level that I like is 23.6. And then if it breaks 23.6 and keep on going down, then I'll look for a bounce at 38.2. If it keeps on going, I'll look for 50. If it keeps on going, I'll look for 61.8. So if you get a run up and then a pullback to 61.8, a person could be in there, right? Now, if you wanted to continue going and go to the next high, right? You could end up somewhere here. Now you're at 38.2 for a bounce, right? So 38.2 bounce and then 23.6 bounce. So you can use this on all time frames. On everything that you can trade, Fibo is going to hold value. It's going to hold water. It's going to bring an additional clarification to what you're doing. So for example, here's that run. Well, look, we're looking for, here's that 76.4 is a really deep retracement, but that's another level. 76.4 of this full move, right? From bottom to top. We just got a whole bunch of questions, just a sec. Oh yeah, the lot size calculator, like the position size calculator, that's coming. It's been sent to compliance. We're just making sure we're just waiting on them to give us the okay to use it. We just have to dot our I's and cross our T's. Oh, Lymel, yeah, no, you're totally right. I thought it was a question that you asked, so that was a comment from earlier. But yeah, I use different methods of confluence to decrease my stop loss. I do get faked out when I draw my wedges. I do get faked out. I'll be frankly honest with you. That's why the win rate is not as high as other systems for me. So I will be I will take more losses drawing the wedges. And the more touches on your trend line when you're drawing your wedge, the better. So I would before I would trust a trend line, I'm gonna want to have at least 3 tags on that trend line. Oh, you can have plenty of different settings on fibs, guys. So depending on what you do, I can plug in any number I want. Right, I can change it up. I've got different templates for different fib levels, like Fibonacci extensions and other things like that that I won't go into. XRP just broke red zone on 15-minute and blue skies above. Are you talking? Let's see. You might hear me get pretty happy in a bit. We'll see what XRP is doing. Oh yeah. Hey, Dante, you still there, brother?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
All right, XRP, talk to me. Take her away. Because she's.
I mean, I'm already in, so it's like my opinion that isn't changing on what I see.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right. Here, let's do a little. Let's have some fun. How about that? This is 4-hour chart on XRP. So I got a flat top wedge. Oh, you want to see something cool? Check this out. Ooh. No, but technical analysis doesn't work on cryptos, right? It's all it's all emotion. You know, you hear it all the time. Oh, it's all emotion. You can't technically trade XRP. Like, well, sure you can. Oh, let's try something. Talking about Fibos. What do you think? What do you think? What's that level? What's that level? That's too much. No, I'm just exaggerating a bit. Can't get the right run. I like that. Let's go to the lower time frame. So you're just sitting on your hands, right?
Yeah, not up arrow hasn't came on arrow either. That would be for anybody on here. That's definitely what would be like if I was going to trade it manually. What I'd be waiting on is to see just a little bit of that momentum. So not even on the 5, 15, nor the hour do you have the up arrow. So I would just pay attention to how these next 20 minutes go by.
Oh yeah, this is important because this big trend line that I drew down here. Let's oh, look at that. See, that's only the second one though, so I don't trust that one yet.
Right.
But if I correct myself a little bit, if I swallow my pride, because I did this one fast and I didn't pay attention. What do you got here?
Break and retest?
Yeah, man.
And if you look on the 15-minute on arrow too, you have an arrow.
Oh yeah, you share. Do you mind sharing your screen for a bit?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, here, I'll stop sharing.
This will
that
be...
zone's gone, man.
This is yeah. If there was a zone here, I wouldn't have taken this entry, so I would be waiting for that next arrow. If I'm trading manually is different than long-term investing though. So that even here on the 30, you would have had to take this arrow through the zone, which shot us back down yesterday. We were on the call yesterday, and we kind of got rejected. So it's like once price gets through this last red zone here, should be skies away. But I would love to get an arrow on the H1 too. We get an arrow on the H1, I would take that too. But it's all with a higher level of caution with cryptos.
Oh, agreed. That like you in trading, you hear about all the great stories, and then no one talks about their losses. Right? They don't. But people got rinsed, as my good friend would say. They got rinsed on this move.
Oh yeah.
Like we're talking people losing tens of thousands of dollars.
Yep. All of
easily.
That. I had my stop loss in profit though, so or else I'd have got caught too. But I got in. There was a level here, I believe, and then I had some light entries here, and then I had some big entries here when the noise started to pick up before Monday, like Friday, Saturday. I started entering crazy, and this is while we were at the event. And then we rolled it all the way up. And I did just like you too, Matt, have a couple entries up here. That was
7 o'clock. That was 7 o'clock on the dot right there.
I had my, but I had a feeling. I told Jason the same thing. I was like, I don't feel good about this. I was like, anything that everybody knows about, I was just like, you know what I mean? It does something bad in my spirit just because I'm all out in belief on just observe the masses and do the opposite. So once I see.
You're a contrarian.
Yeah, just who I am in my nature. So I had a high stop in profit. It was only like 55 cents. So
hey guys.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. You want to take a quick look at Ethereum? 5 minute?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bring it up. I don't think I have ETH on here.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. It's getting ready to break that trend line.
Please do.
Well, the 5 minute, we already got a bag entry.
Okay. For a buy?
Go ahead. Share. Somebody share. Let me see.
Hold on. He's got a.
Yeah, I got a. Next time I'm on a call,
he's got a challenge. Hold on. I can share.
I didn't bring it up.
No, I don't have it on my charts, but I can just run it here unless if you have it on AIRO, it'll help to visualize a little bit better.
All right, there we go.
You got it? All right, here. Yeah. I'll stop sharing.
All right. So just the H1. $5 minute. You do have an arrow. Where's my zone at on the 5 minute though? There we go. You do have an entry. It's just close here to this next zone, Charles. That'll be my only thing for some. But if you go higher time frame, I mean, we know what trend we're in with cryptos. So it's just
we're crossing the moving average.
Right. We're across the moving average here on the 5, and you definitely have a clean bag here. It's just you got a little bit of reddish up here.
If it breaks that trend line, right, that could be a very interesting entry.
You got in, Charles?
I took it.
I know you did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it might be. How far are you taking it though?
I'm taking it. Let's see. 15 pips, basically.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, just take a piece of it because I would be cautious of holding on to that just because of the overall flow of it
right up to below that resistance right there you're pointing to.
Yeah, I like that for the quick scalp. Not mad about that at all. This right here was the entry though. This right here, this bag. I don't know what day this was. This was like 3 days ago. This would have been the one.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah, Jackie has to be cross-referencing everything on higher time frames, looking for slower moves. Like I really want to take AIRO to the next level. But this, you can hold this until Otherwise, you can hold a trade like this until it's touching the moving average again. Like that is literally like you can just no hesitation take a trade like that and just wait it out, especially if you just with the trend the entire time. Very similar to the indice moves they caught earlier this week too. Could have held them things until they touched the MA again.
Oh yeah, I was talking to Jackie. She's like, I need to hold on to my trades a little longer.
I'm like, what? You gonna hold them for a month? Like, what's up?
No, but Jackie and oh man, I tell you what, just crazy.
Yeah, like you could even still be in this Nas trade off the 4-hour entry here off of this bag and just waiting and see if it's gonna break the zone or not. Or you could have closed our profit up here and call it a day. Just a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah, Nas 100. I got a good bag this morning, so it was good.
Nice.
And I'm learning that. All right, the indices are not my bread and butter, but I've seen the profitability that can happen, and that's why I'm putting 100 demo trades this week.
I feel that.
Like I'm scalping the snot out of it, and it's game over.
Bank induction.
Yeah, I gotta look at that bank induction stuff. I've never.
It's new for me, but I see it easier now than Nate. Like, kind of, we hopped on a call and he just kind of trained my eye, and I was like, So I see, even though it's newer, I see what he sees and what is happening in the market, just as far as how people get caught up in so many fake outs.
Interesting.
So when you already know the direction of the trend, undoubtedly, and we do with indices, cryptos, things like that, it's up. So it's like when you get an arrow directly into the zone, like not like close to the zone, near the zone. You're talking about directly into the zone. Those are times where I believe I'm gonna go back to the H1, and then it might have been US 30 that Jackie took off the bank. It might have been S&P. Let me see. I'm gonna remember it as soon as I see it. But she took it off the bank induction. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it was her first entry. Like right here was basically her first entry on this S&P move, and then there was, I think it was another arrow that she took after that. I'm gonna find it in a cleaner version. Let me go back to Nas. Hold up. Look, I just got the text. XRP up 5% in the last 24 hours. 42, almost at 42 cents. That's beautiful.
Yep, making me happy, man.
I
can get rid of those. Get rid of those negative pips on my screen.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. I ignore it, but damn, I cannot find this clean move. It was off of one of these zones down here where you see the arrow going into a zone. Like this one, I wouldn't count. I want it closer. Like I want it to be going, like try to be through the zone, and then you can just enter immediately with a tighter stop. And you guys are so fond of tight stops. It works in your favor of your trading style. Big time, because you're just taking it right at the zone. And again, this is off the H1. So if you're going the lower time frame, you'll see opportunities even more of arrows just directly into a zone where you already know the trend. So I don't know if that's the strategy that's dropping today. It's either 9 or 10 that the bank induction is, but I like it a lot.
I think it's 9. And 9 is that, anyway, 9 is what he's releasing today, I think.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at
So anonymous attendee said, I was drawing trend lines and wedges all night, wondering if we need to be in money zones for trend lines and wedges and fibos. No, you don't need it. You can do this anytime. Now price will break out during money zone and whatnot when there's a lot of liquidity in the market and a lot of volatility. But holy smokes.
You took this trade earlier, Matt? This is the one you were talking about?
What?
This would have been a win too off S&P.
Oh, that would have been beautiful. No, I didn't take that one.
Yeah, but this is right at the beginning of London.
Yeah, right. I was up. I should have saw that one.
That was
sharp.
That's why.
Look. You got a wedge there, right? You got a break of the wedge is where that green candle is.
Yep. Bang. Boom.
Yeah. Where's your stop loss? Other side of the moving average.
Other side of moving average, under the last zone, last. You know what I mean? There's green, like 10 different ways to determine your stop.
But your risk to reward is through the roof when you do that.
Correct.
I just got my TP on Ethereum.
Well done.
You cold.
Well done. Yeah, no, I'm not taking Ethereum.
That was
But
just quick.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, super quick. So you got in here, boom, right to TP. That's a good move.
Yep.
Are we looking at a possible counter trend on gold? I'll check this out before we hop off.
Yeah, we're almost to the end of time there.
Nah, gold would have been. He's thinking at a buy for gold. I would relax. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would chill out. I don't know. I would have took the sell though. Honestly, I don't know what
Yeah,
time to
man.
sell.
I don't even trade gold, but man,
I definitely trade gold. I like it. You just got to trade with the trend. I don't mind trading. In the beginning, when we were first using AIRO, that was like what we made the most pips on gold because it's just like indices were moving. It's like I don't know what's up with these forex pairs this last couple with like 2 months haven't been
turtle, man.
movement. But we were trading gold and
keep
silver.
your eyes on Bitcoin too. It just jumped above the moving average on AIRO.
Did we get an AIRO? Hold on, man.
No AIRO yet, but
not yet. It probably will generate one though, since we're over the moving average.
Right. Well, you find an entry on the 5 minute. Something, but yeah, that is.
There's the 1 minute shows a resistance zone, so I'm looking for it to get above that resistance on the 1 minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have loved the AIRO here on the 5. You get an AIRO on the 5. That is, I like this one more than the Ethereum one. There's more room to the next zone. Looks a little cleaner, but we didn't get the AIRO yet. I think this is about as textbook as you're gonna find.
I'm waiting for it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. So those who are on, if you stay, I'm gonna hop off. But if you guys pay attention to Bitcoin, if you get an alert on a 5 minute for Bitcoin, I would take that up to a few pips under this next little zone here.
Chris got 86 pips on Ethereum.
Nice. Great call, Charles.
Thanks. Yeah, that's about what I got too.
Yeah. It'll make you feel better when you're watching the Super Bowl and your squad's not in it.
Look at that.
I'm a big Bills fan, so good morning no matter what.
My boys ain't in there, man. It's all good.
Well, I do have to take off as well.
Yeah.
I've got some other things I've got to run up, but
thanks, guys.
I appreciate you, Matt, for your service to the community, bro. I appreciate you too, Charles, and all the other educators and everybody who hops on these calls. Shout out to everybody here. Hoping that we get this BTC up AIRO. If I do, I'll put it in the AIRO check because I'll hop into. And that one lines up a little better. But we'll hop off, and I guess you guys will see Matt again on the last Hawkeye session of the week tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But I hope everybody has a great weekend. Or stay up tonight, and I catch some more pips during the London session with Nate and Calvin too. So much.
Oh, one last thing. Look for US 30 to pop again.
Look for it to pop again.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Hold on now. The dirty.
Yeah, just
5
look for it to pop again.
Oh, hold on. Oh, no, okay. No bounce.
No, but look for a setup.
I would love for a zone
on
to pop here, a little green zone.
You see the wedge?
Yeah,
so you got a wedge there. And then you got your moving average way the heck down. So let it retest that. And then
test the bottom of it again. Yeah.
Right. So put a Fibbo on there and then you're.
Is that on the 5 minute?
Doesn't. Well, I'm running out on 5, but.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So keep your eyes on US 30 and
just for something for you guys. Just if you want to have an idea that's potentially there. I just saw it and I said, well, there's nothing set in stone, nothing guaranteed in life except death and taxes, but we can set traps and see if we catch anything.
I hear that. Kerry, I trade gold on the 5 minute. So that's what I was trading gold on. And you see good entries, just gotta be. It's the same thing with Nas or and as long as you're trading with the trend off a clean bag, it's pretty much the same across the board. Just about your own risk tolerance with how like the lot sizes and where you want to take your trades to.
Yeah, but don't get into indices if all you've ever been doing is trading forex.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, it moves quick and.
Just get the volume up, like in the words of Brother Matt, get our volume of trades up there, 100 plus.
100 plus, and then tell me the system doesn't work. How about that?
Well, all right, boys, I'm ready. I appreciate you guys. If you need anything from me, hit me up on Telegram. I am here.